Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of Boys from the Baltic Star, a traveller adventure. Thank you for joining us this evening. It is Friday evening for much of us, a Friday afternoon for the Americans. You should be at work, quite frankly, according to capitalism at least. But we welcome you in. If you've never come across us before, we're the best thing currently on Twitch, apparently, according to at least one person. If you've never heard of us on Twitter, please consider following us at Boys Baltic. If you like what you see over this session, then consider following us on Twitch. We would very much appreciate it. We don't need your love. We're not needy, but no. Well, I am. Those don't. Yeah. me and you are not. Ben's not. Ben ploughs his own furrow, but me and you are horrifically needy. But and Ben's a little bit needy. But we're rolling anyway. We are a traveller adventure, the Traveller tabletop RPG game. I am in the bottom corner. I'm Luke. I've got the blue background. We're back to France again. I'm Luke in the blue background. Next to me is the greatest comrade that anyone could ever ask for. The man, the myth, the legend, it is Ewan. There he is.
Hey.
And two across is our arch nemesis, the man who lives his whole life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence. Are you still drunk, Ben, or have you recovered from last night?
I sobered up like an hour ago.
Well, you're fine then. Sadly, for those of you that watched on Thursday, it's not Ben's night off tonight, so you can't ply him with alcohol. If you can, if it's not his, but he's working tonight. He needs to be sober. It's very important. Let me click these things on. There we go.
Otherwise, he might either be too mean or too nice to us.
Yeah, you need to keep him kind of happy. It's that sort of middle ground. He's like got to surf the middle ground of pleasant referee. We've actually got our last Summer of Love giveaway this evening. So the last 4 weeks we've been doing our Summer of Love. We've still got some adverts at halftime that we want to show off. But as part of what we do is giveaways. And we've given away some cool stuff this month. We've given away some badges, some books, some postcards, some PDFs, all the cool stuff. So what we're left with tonight is 3 janky drawings by me. Some would call it the greatest prize of the month. I wouldn't. But for those... But for some people, they seem to love them. So what we're giving away is... as part of Kara's Art Attack, which is a way you can spend points using our Imperial credits, the Red Star, the Red Sun even. The Sun's a star. People can pay some credits and tell me to draw something. And over the last few weeks, I've had to draw the crew at a nightclub, which I've done. I had to draw some dire wolves, which I've done. That's that little picture there with Stefan running away. And we'll do one tonight. If someone suggests one, we'll do one tonight. And those 3 pictures will indeed be given away to one very lucky, probably regular, because no one else cares about them. But there's a set. What's it called, Ben? The art of children and monkeys. Is it outsider art? There's a name for it.
Well, outsider art is the art of people who aren't from the art establishment. I don't think it's exclusively monkeys, no.
I'm definitely not part of the art establishment. So if you want to spend 200 credits and join our prize draw, you could get 3 pieces of outsider art, either drawn by a monkey or me. We don't know yet. But feel free to do that.
3 credits.
But you don't have to pay money for these credits. So get involved, quite frankly.
Exactly.
So anyway, that's enough of me talking. Let's go over to the man who knows what he's talking about. It's Ewan knows most, but for this moment, it's Ben.
Why, thank you. So last time, the boys from the Baltic Star had a slightly abbreviated return trip to the Majesty of Earth Park. Falco, someone who was altogether too free with grenades for someone enjoying a theme park, fought to escape the attentions of his old enemy, Seva, who had been delivered to the park by the Aslan, Paral Karar, and March Temple, along with the travellers. Cornered by the automated lockdown imposed to protect the park visitors, Falco eventually tried to flee through the direwolf compound, something he came to regret instantly, though not for very long. He was eventually dragged off by the carnivores to be devoured. In the aftermath, Black Sun revealed that Falco was no longer an employee, I mean, even before he was eaten, and they asked that the travellers make themselves as scarce as possible over the next few days in case there were awkward questions to answer. Our intrepid heroes were also banned from the park, though park security might not be up to keeping them out in practice. They returned to their luxury hotel for the night, but not before returning March Temple's extremely discreet weapon that they took from her when they encountered her under her other name, Stella Nest. So far, it is unclear whether Kara knows a great deal about his assistant, or is aware of very much at all. In fact, as he seems to travel blissfully through his cloud of privilege. Excitement is building for the forthcoming buckyball match between Giikur and Dillabrew. Sever and his boyfriend have the opportunity to reunite and might take up a place on the cruise of the Deep Night Revelation. And as for the Baltic Star herself, she's being upgraded with some weapons for the forthcoming mission ahead of the voyage of the Revelation. Many people aboard the buckyball cruise might have useful information, and meanwhile, there's a team to cheer as the plucky geeks take on the power of the subsector capital's team. And that is where we resume the story.
Up the geeks, up the geeks, up the geeks, up the geeks. I need to say up the geeks before we do anything at this point. Up the geeks. Up the geeks. Dillabrew can suck one. They've got all the money. They've got all the fun. They're like the Yorkshire
points, and you can say it again.
They're like the Yorkshire of the buckyball team. They're like the New England Patriots. Up the geeks. Up the geeks. The geeks. So I get quite emotional about the geeks.
Yeah, I'm beginning to realise that. Yeah. It's going to be a real problem if they lose, isn't it? So, you resume your adventure, effectively awakening in the Hotel Coronet.
I've enjoyed our time at the Hotel Coronet. It served us well. I think we originally only booked to stay for a couple of nights, but we've done like 4 or 5, haven't we? It's been a lovely hotel.
Yeah. We have indeed.
How's Agnar's fruit basket hanging up? Is it sister?
It's taken some hits.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's probably past him waking up, and the last few mornings he's been helping himself to a bit of pineapple or an apple before he goes down to meet everyone.
Yeah, it's the thing everyone knows about people who are part wolf. They mostly eat fruit.
Yeah, basking in his fruit basket. But not this morning. He'll take one look at it and I think I'll leave that and get himself ready for the day. I suppose head down to message. He'll message people while he's getting ready. Where are we breakfasting this morning? My fruit's a little off.
There was drinking last night, wasn't there? So Kara's not getting up quickly. Sarah will be the first awake. She leans over. She looks over into the twin bed, which has Stefan in, looking a bit scruffed and scraped from his battle with the direwolves. And he did well though. She thinks back to the smoke grenades and the plastic explosive that she fired off with a little smile, remembering yesterday's exploits. And then she sees the ping up from Agnar. And it could be our last morning. We should finish it with the greasiest possible breakfast we can find. Perhaps we can find the most touristy, cheap cafe that there is going. Let's not go cultural. Let's go anti-cultural. That's our thinking.
I will tell you, it's not exactly the cheapest place, but the Trail's End certainly is touristy and non-cultural.
We're becoming locals at the Trail's End.
We are. Agnar will message back and say, "Oh, don't worry about where we go. It's on me." Daddy Agnar mode is still toggled on from our last session.
Daddy Agnar mode is in full swing.
He will be buying breakfast for everyone, it seems.
Excellent.
In which case, let's go. Let's go there.
Change plan.
Let's go. I'm having 2 breakfasts each. Saraya loves a free breakfast. Let's get some free breakfast going.
Yes, that is a good plan. As Stefan wakes up, does he in fact recover some endurance from the night's sleep? Did we get full?
He does. He can roll 1d6.
Wonderful. And that's plus or minus my current endurance, is that right?
Yes, plus or minus your current level of endurance as a bonus.
6 or minus 1. He rolled a 4. His current endurance is 6, so is that 3 points?
Brilliant. So plus 3.
Yes, which takes him back to 4.
Oh, Steph. Oh, you're looking good now, Stefan. There's something about you this morning. You look
well rested.
kind of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Even more bushy-tailed than Agnar.
That combination of last night's alcohol and a bit of sleep.
And a good night's sleep. Oh,
yeah.
That's the dream. Nice drink and a good night's sleep.
Yeah, know the feeling well.
You don't know that feeling well. Right, let's go. What's? It's not. I keep thinking it's the world's end. It's not the world's end. The trail's end, right?
Trail's end. Yeah.
To the trail's end.
Okay. So you head out across the peak of Lata, and make your way to the trail's end. It's a route you know well now.
Oh, we do.
And it turns out that because it's a sort of touristy place, it's still fairly busy even for breakfasts. In fact, one of the things that they do, because they're kind of faking being a spacer haunt, is they make very much a spacer breakfast, which, everything is fried. Wow. Usually fried in the residue of what was fried immediately before it. Everything is fried.
So perfect.
And it doesn't take you very long to find yourself a corner and settle in, not only for to order some food, but also perhaps to see some impromptu street theatre play out in front of you. You never know.
I love breakfast. I love Greece. I love impromptu street theatre. Saraya,
this could be your ideal place.
Saraya plumps herself down. Especially, she's the most awake of my 2, so she plumps herself down, looking out. We always save a space for Stefan with his back to the wall, so he can watch the door. Of course, that's tradition.
Space to the door, back to the wall.
But she takes a space next to where he would be, so she's got a good view. And she's hungry. Her belly's rumbling. Her emotional cognitive dissonance is rumbling. She wants a good morning of food and entertainment.
Excellent. By the way, I've just noticed the pun on the Kara's art attack, that it'll be drawn when all the slots are full.
Oh God! I didn't even write that. Don't add bad puns when I didn't even spot them. It might be drawn after that though. Oh.
Exactly.
Depends when someone chooses it.
Okay, you settle in, and you have a menu, but for our purposes, you can all order what you like, and it'll be delivered fairly quickly. This is a pretty efficient tourist place. Their turnover in customers is part of what makes them successful, and they're not going to be slow to bring you big heaving plates of heavily fried food.
It's what you need, quite frankly, after a day of fighting wolves.
I don't disagree.
Although I'm guessing Zoe's there, but out of the 4 of our regular crew members, only one person actually fought the wolves.
Yes. Yeah.
Zoe did an amazing job.
Whereas Kara and Agnar just sat on the beach eating ribs and drinking booze.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And Saraya mostly made a mess.
Yeah, it was for a good cause.
It was. I agree with you. So okay. You settle in. You hurl down a pretty heavy-duty breakfast. Now, what are you after for the remainder of your morning?
Do we need anything, Ewan, at this point?
I mean, nothing that springs out. I think everything I've got left on my list is with regards to the Buckyball tour cruise. We sorted out the lady, didn't we?
Yes, we did. She's got a new life on another planet.
Yeah. Check us out.
Check us out,
helping people get away with murder that we committed.
And we committed.
Yeah, given that you did kind of inadvertently frame her for treason.
We take with one hand and give with the other.
It is the way.
Is there a shop on the planet in town that I could buy explosives? I used some.
Streetwise check with Bane, please.
Bane.
Oh, you did use them, that's true.
And intellect.
Oh, okay. So +2 to whatever I roll. Okay, I've gone with a 6, 3, and 3, with a +1 for streetwise and a +1 for intellect. So that is an 8 in total.
Okay. In your travels around Lata, you haven't seen anything that would imply you had a good location to pick up explosives, no.
It feels like the wrong part of the wrong town, quite frankly. It's okay. I've still got a breach in charge, and I've still got a few bits of plastic. I'll have to survive with what I've got. It feels more like the place to buy some postcards, quite frankly.
Our friend the Commodore might have some lying around.
I might.
Stefan wants to pick up a Giikur's hat. No,
okay.
Over the top, just a little bit of team paraphernalia to fit in while he's sat next to Soraya in a full kit.
Does he truly believe though? You and Stefan. Does Stefan truly believe?
No, he just doesn't want to look at too out of place.
Oh, this is very upsetting.
Frankly,
he
might do.
He needs to truly believe. He needs to truly believe, man. He needs to truly believe in the geeks.
Yeah, it is weird that you're going to a place where, in order to blend in, you need to be wearing an Up the Geeks t-shirt. But yes, that's fair enough. Well, you know a shop that sells buckyball merchandise. You've been there before.
It's my favourite shop in town.
He'll say to Soraya, "I'm just going to pick up something for the cruise. Do you want to come along and have another little browse?"
Oh, Mr. Leno, there must be we're going to look for oversized foam hands. Absolutely, for sure. This is good. To the buckyball shop.
To the buckyball shop. Okay. So arriving at this tourist crap hut.
You shut your face. This tourist heaven.
Heaven.
Luke's only known about the team for what, 3-4 weeks tops, and he's already very.
Saraya's always been a fan.
To heart.
Always been a fan. 20 years she's been a fan.
Yeah. Well, when you arrive, you discover that the decorations have slightly changed. Where the shop has historically had a mixture of stuff in its window and in its on its shelves. Right now, courtesy of the upcoming match, its window is entirely decorated with Geeks merchandise, and it is dominated not only with sort of generic Geeks merchandise, but also items that specifically reference this upcoming match against Dillabrew.
I'm not buying one of those half and half scarves though. Those are for people that don't really support the sports.
Certainly for people that don't really support the Geeks.
Oh, Ali, you legend.
Up the Geeks.
Up the Geeks. This can stay on the screen for a while. Up the Geeks. This is on the screen for the next few months, quite frankly. Up the Geeks. Up the Geeks. Are there any foam hands in there, Ben? Any like one finger up the geek foam hands?
Let me see.
Let you see.
No foam hands.
Oh, this is upsetting.
The equivalent sort of device appears to be a sort of illuminated ball that you can. It's about the size of a buckyball ball, and it glows in Geek's colours.
Oh, I quite like the sound of that. Kara's going to buy 10 of them.
10 of them. Okay.
Yes. How much does that? How much does that going to cost me?
That will cost you 200.
Oh my goodness, that's worth every penny for 10 glowing balls.
I'll tell you what, Agnar will mark that down as part of the breakfast for his Daddy Agnar.
He's on Daddy Agnar mode. Quick, while Daddy Agnar's at play. Oh, here, let's play.
How much are we looking at for breakfast, Ben?
Breakfast, there were effectively 5 of you for breakfast, including Zoe.
Yeah.
So if you're picking up the tab for all of you, that will have come out to about 75.
Wonderful. I'll keep a running tally for what Stefan's about to buy on the shop.
If people can keep spending their money on Daddy Agnar mode, my characters are like a mint. So I'm about to spend a lot in the geek shop.
Yeah.
You said Stefan wants a cap to blend in. He's not a real fan. This is very upsetting to Saraya.
He wants a cap, and he wants a t-shirt that's like, I don't know, I'm guessing 4 sizes too big, so it'll fit over his ceramic carapace.
Understood. Okay.
You know, just so at a glance it doesn't look like he's wearing body armor to a buckyball match.
All right. As a pair.
Thank you, Ali. Sorry, you're on full Daddy Agnar mode now.
I'm going to fulfill it, and then it's going to be turned back on again. Thanks, Ali. I don't mind.
It turns out that it's possible in the run-up to this match, the prices may have gone up just a smidgen, as demand has skyrocketed, as people want to show their support, and of course many of them will be visiting the cruise as well and want some appropriate apparel to wear for the match. So I'm afraid a new hat and t-shirt is going to come to 25.
Oh,
okay, wonderful. Plus the fact that, you know, all the real fans already have all their gear. Isn't that right, Luke?
Well, Saraya already has.
Only the tourists that are buying now.
Well, Saraya's got her cap. She's got her jersey. She's got a signed, a pre-signed, printed signed photo of the most handsome man on the team, who she's now decided is her favourite. Is there something that I can get that has spaces for signatures, Ben? You know, like a picture that I can then take around to get sharped?
Well, yes. The most obvious thing, it may not be quite what you're after, but I mean, I'd be tempted to say a match program.
Oh, that sounds good.
Which has pages devoted to each player and is available in electronic or in physical sort of commemorative form.
I'm going to get that in physical commemorative form, please. Flicking through, do we know the name of her favourite player, the handsome man? Do we know his name yet?
If you want the best looking chap in the team,
that was the one that she was after.
Yeah, is an opening bat for Giikur.
Opening bats are the best. They always are. Yeah.
And his name is Ivan van Cotswolds.
Oh, not the Van Cotswolds! No! Oh.
It's happened now. No take backs.
Oh, no. I've gone off him suddenly. He suddenly sounds a lot less attractive.
There are in fact several Van Cotswolds who form part of the Giikur squad.
It's a small planet.
It's a local family of note.
Yeah, Ivan Van Cotswolds, he's a handsome man, and he's her favourite. Opening bat as well. So yes, okay. Yeah. She's all in on Ivan Van Cotswolds. So that's good. So she's got the match program. She's very excited. That's the picture she's got. She's got a cap. She's got a jersey. Stefan's got a t-shirt and a cap. Up the geek. The geeks, Mr. Leonard. The geeks picture's staying there, quite frankly, for the evening. just keep topping it up, like a drunk at the bar. Just keep topping it up. Oh, I've got glowing balls coming out of my pockets. All sorts.
That's going into a clip. Wonderful. How much is the program, Ben?
The programs are in physical form, I'm afraid, are 100 each.
Oh, worth it, utterly worth it.
Physical books and things are expensive because of the relative rarity of them.
Oh, they're worth it.
Sure. Agnar, I'll look around the group and just say, anyone else? Anyone else want anything else?
Is there something really fancy, Ben? Is there like a geek's tie or cufflinks or something? You know, like some sports clubs have something like overly ridiculously fancy, considering, yeah, for a night out. I want to be Flash, but I also want to support my local team.
Yeah, well, the probably the most upmarket thing that you can get that is literally Geeks branded is a jacket.
Oh, Soraya's having a jacket, please.
Okay.
Yes.
These are very smart, sort of tailored, buckyball blazers, essentially.
Oh, yes.
They are striped in the team colours.
Oh.
They have the team crest on the breast.
Oh.
And I'm afraid they'll set you back 250.
It's a bargain.
Okay. Agnar will say, well, actually, they look quite smart, and he'll get one as well.
Oh, yes.
It's his kind of style.
It is his style. It's very Agnar. Very Agnar. We're going to look great. On this cruise,
yes,
we're going to look like the bells of the ball.
We certainly are. An eclectic bunch, but an eclectic set of bells.
Eclectic bells.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Magic.
The new album.
Sadly, the 300 is worn off.
Oh, yeah. I forget his name.
Mike Oldfield.
Right, I shall mark off.
Are you talking Mike Oldfield's?
Yeah. I certainly am. I'll mark off 900 credits then.
Best 900 credits you've ever spent, quite frankly.
It kind of is.
Forget guns and ammo. Anyone can buy guns and ammo.
Who needs guns and ammo when you've got cannon?
Exactly.
It's not quite cannon, but
very, very well put. Yeah.
oh, hang on. Yeah, that's good. Oh.
Agnar will settle up. He'll put his jacket on, take any of the tags off, and just say, "Well, should we all get ready for the cruise? Suit up and head off, or?"
I'm looking forward to the cruise. I'm very much looking forward to the cruise. There's not a cravat, is there, Ben?
There's no cravat, in fact, no. The reality is people's choices in clothing are a bit more varied than might be familiar to those who've hung around Lords, for example. So what people tend to do is take a single smart item of clothing like a blazer and put it over whatever they're wearing, which could even be vac suit or work overalls or anything.
That's perfect.
So cravats are not really a thing. You'd be more likely to find a club tie if you were actually a club member rather than a fan.
No, and I'm not a club member. They wouldn't have me. I tried, but they just turned their nose up at me. They're very snooty.
You wouldn't want to be a member of any club that would have you as a member.
Exactly. Good reference. Good reference. Okay, that's enough then. That's enough shopping. Let's go and live our best lives.
Yes. Okay. All right. You head out. Now, whenever you're ready, pretty much, you can be collected and taken up into space, or you can, of course, perhaps more sensibly, ride your own ship up from the surface, your own shuttlecraft, your own launch. Take that up to the Baltic Star and return it to there, and then do anything you need to do aboard before transferring over.
It would be a very good idea because the Baltic Star without the shuttle would be a slight problem, and we've also got some weapons, I believe, some of us.
Yes. We do have a fair amount of weapons on the shuttle.
Yeah.
That we should at least do something with, not just leave them in the car park.
So we will jump back. We will jump back on the cable car and head back round to where we've parked it with our little tag for the week. and go and pick it up from 7F or wherever it was we left it.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
As we're heading round, Stefan will just say to everyone, we could always ask our Aslan friend if he'll give us a lift up. That was a hoot last time.
Yeah.
Saraya will say, "You don't need him. You've got me. I'm the best pilot you know."
You are a much better pilot than me.
That's good. You feed her ego.
No,
she loves that.
Okay.
That's why we're friends.
It is. That's why we get on so well.
So, okay, you set off and collect your ship's boat. Bid a fond farewell, at least for the time being, to the surface of Giikur. And set off into orbit. And before too very long, you pick up the communications point for the Baltic Star, which is of course nowhere near where you left it. It has now been relocated into the Imperial Naval Base, into the shipyard portion of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to set off in an orbital path around the planet for a little while, maybe a half-hour journey, in order to find the Baltic Star. There are a couple of things you notice on the way through, and one is that as you crest over the side of the large orbital naval shipyard there, you can see the enormous hulk of the Deep Night Revelation. But a little way beyond, just hanging in orbit, you can also see another very substantial ship. And your computer systems immediately report to you that this is a vessel called the Seamstress. The Seamstress is a vast, almost perfectly spherical ship. And as soon as it is identified on your system, up pops all the relevant information about how to dock with it for the upcoming cruise, because the Seamstress is indeed the ship that the Buckyball cruise is on.
It's a good name.
Fine ship. Shaped like a buckyball ball.
Somewhat, yeah. It does look a little like that. So the remainder of the journey, can you please roll for me a relevant pilot check?
Yes, that's
for
small craft, isn't it?
For Saraya.
That's right, yeah. Should be all right. 7 + 1 is 8.
Okay.
Functional.
Functional. She's nothing but functional.
Indeed. The landing is or the docking is largely without issue, and you discover as you approach the naval base that your vessel has already been pre-cleared into the relevant route just to get to the Baltic Star. There are red zones on your screens that indicate places you shouldn't go within the base that are more private or you're not authorized to visit. But there's a nice broad corridor that leads you straight to the Baltic Star. And as you say, without any particular difficulty, you are able to dock smoothly and calmly, and the hatch opens and you are back aboard your ship, where you are welcomed by a small cat.
Cara immediately of course he would. Whereas Cara will pick it up and fuss over it a little bit somewhat. Like, "Oh, who are you? Where have you come from? You lovely little thing." As it hisses at Agnar. as he just walks straight past. Oh. So yeah, just a bit of fussing.
Okay.
And sort of walks inside with it in arm.
Squitches.
Classic Stefan.
Yes. Now, if there is anything you want to do aboard the ship, the only thing of note that's happening is apparently you have, just the way life works, blundered into what amounts to be Richard Davis' leaving party. Oh.
I'm a bit too emotional to get involved in
What?
Richard Davis' leaving party.
What were our plans again? Because he's obviously leaving.
Yeah.
The ship's staying there with the crew, right? Whilst we go on the bucketball tour with potential. I forget the lady's name.
Our new pilot.
The good pilot.
Kat Aralesti.
The good
Yes,
pilot.
Kat.
Yeah. Kat will be coming with the Commodore.
Yeah.
And his wife. They are travelling on the tour. The Aslan Kara will also be travelling along with his assistant, March Temple.
Yeah.
There is a pretty open invitation. You've been invited by, let's face it, the wealthy people of the world to come on this trip. And so there won't be any difficulty with finding accommodation for whoever you want to bring.
This is good.
So you can bring some NPCs if you'd like.
There's some NPCs I quite fancy. you can't. You like buckyball, don't you, Richard? Yoink.
Shanghai Met is leaving do.
Is everyone hanging out in like the forward bar for the party?
In the lounge area, yes, at where the bars are. Yeah.
So Rye's going to make a beeline to Kron Sarama.
Okay.
What's his mood? Bless his little face. How's he looking?
Yeah, reasonably relaxed. He's got a glass in his hand, so to speak. He's laid back, enjoying, waving goodbye to a colleague.
That's why I like him so much. So she'll grab a drink and she'll sort of give cheers to a few people, We are a bit of the luxury crew, I guess, so I assume we're welcomed with a certain amount of, these are the flyboys coming back from their latest flouncing around, leaving us to do all the hard work. But she tries to ingratiate herself in sort of the chat. And he's going to be her first stop. Might not be her only stop. But she'll say, "Hey, Kron, how you doing? I'm sorry we've not talked much. How's life?"
Okay, thanks. Okay.
Are you a fan of buckyball at all, Kron?
I catch it when it's on, I guess.
Have you seen that big spherical ship just ahead of us?
Oh yeah.
That's heading off for a week for a big buckyball match between the geeks, and those utter scumbags from De La Bru. Would you be interested in joining us for a week of buckyball and drinking and chillaxing?
I'd love to, but it's not a good time if you think about it. I really should be here while we got people working on the ship.
I understand. It's upsetting to me, Kron. It's upsetting, but I do understand. Is there anything you'd like us to bring back for you at all?
No, not especially.
Okay. Thank you. I feel enriched by this chat. Thank you very much. Let's not forget it. Kron, you're breaking my heart. It makes sense, though, that an engineer needs to stay on the ship while it's being refitted.
Yeah, it does indeed.
Is there anyone you want to take, Ewan? You can't Shanghai Richard Davis, I don't think.
I want to. But I imagine he'll be less happy to come along than. Although we never got his schedule. He might have a couple of weeks off.
He might, like a big final huzzah.
Yeah.
Go talk.
We could look good in front of the crew by making it out to be his leaving present.
Oh, go talk to him. Go on. Kara's gonna start nudging you. Go on.
Agnar will get nudged in the back a little bit and walk up towards Richard. And just, hello, Richard. Once again, thank you for all your help. I suppose, especially in those, early days when we had no idea what we were doing or where we were going or what exactly who even owned the ship. It is much appreciated.
Well, thank you. It's been, mostly fun.
Mostly fun. You will, of course, be missed. Tell me, what are your plans for the coming weeks? When do you join? When do you join the new vessel?
In about an hour, roughly. Yeah, just having some farewell drinks and then heading over to take on my duties.
It's a shame we have a spare ticket on the Buckyball cruise. You see the ship over there. I don't know if there's a window, but he'll reference the ship, which obviously the captain, I assume, would be aware of. We have a spare ticket and wondered if you'd like to join us. But if you're busy, I don't suppose you know of any of the other crew members who have a keen interest in the sport.
Well, I know Sutter and Verlo are fans, because they've been rabbiting on about it for ages.
Yes, of course, we knew that as well.
But I don't know about anyone else.
Okay, well, thank you, and thank you once again for everything you've done for us and everything you've been through. It's been an emotional journey, but it has been a well organised, almost military journey, you would say. And he'll straighten up the collar to his buckyball dinner jacket and raise a glass to him and walk awkwardly back towards Koa. Just say, Satchel Verlo, we're fans.
We're nothing but awkward. Sutter and Verlo, especially, I'm interested in Sutter. Thing is, Kara is. You say that, but Kara's naturally going to move off towards Rose, especially with Cat in hand, because it's the first time she's seen her for a week, and they're good little friends by now. Yeah. So she's heading off to Rose, but Soraya's lurking. She's just wanting to toast up the geeks at any chance she gets. So if she overhears about Sutter and Verlo, she's grabbing Agnar by the arm and dragging him over to Sutter for a start.
I mean, she's the best person to talk buckyball to anyone, I imagine.
She's definitely the most enthusiastic.
That is true.
So Soraya will drag Agnar over towards Sutter. Is he on his own, or is he drinking or hanging out with anyone, Ben?
There's a loose group of people wandering around, meandering. They're occasionally peering out of the windows in the lounge, because outside some relatively interesting stuff's going on. The shipyard is full of moving craft coming and going, and enormous machinery that's, an automated paths maintaining and examining vessels and stripping them and making use of upgrades and replacing engines and all sorts of things. There's actually quite a lot to see once you're in the maintenance area of the shipyard. And so people are sort of wandering around, fairly friendly, but they've been stuck on a ship for a very long time. It's not like they haven't seen each other for a while.
Yeah. So Soraya's gonna drag Agnar over towards Sutter, and she'll check that he's got some alcohol in his glass, and she'll say, "Good to see you, Doc. Up the geeks," and raises her glass to him to see how he responds, I guess.
He gives a sort of half smile and then raises a glass and says, "Sure, why not? Up the geeks."
You see that big spherical buckyball shaped ship in the distance, Sutter?
The Seamstress, yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to visit the ship?
Oh, I'd love to.
You see, I know we are the very much the luxury players on this ship, and we get to flounce around here, there, and everywhere. But we've made friends with a very rich Aslan, as you
You're
do.
Not helping.
just to build into our character style.
Yeah.
And to be honest, there's too many hoity-toity types, and Agnar, pointing at him wearing his fancy blazer, is not doing us many favours in that part. I feel like he's got in touch with his flouncy side. Do you want to come and watch some buckyball for a week?
Yeah, that'd be lovely. But isn't it like a fortnight?
Yeah, but week, fortnight. We'll watch for a week and we'll drink. We'll watch for a week and drink for the other week.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Ah, good. That's what you're definitely not a De La Brew fan, though, right?
No, I grew up watching the Sword Worlds League.
Well, that's good enough for me. As long as we can get behind the geeks, I'm a happy girl.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no chance of seeing Jewel up close, and that's the team I'd be cheering for. But yeah, I'm happy to cheer the underdog. I mean, you've seen the teams, right? How they match up.
Yeah, but the joy is in the underdog. Quite frankly, no one wants the big cheese to win. That's boring. You know, no one cheers on. Like, who in their right mind would support the big team? Very upsetting.
Yeah.
So let's go and enjoy. Let's go and enjoy a fortnight of cheering for the underdog, drinking
lovely.
and having a wonderful time.
Yeah, I'd enjoy that greatly.
Ah, good man. Good man. Soraya grabs the cap off her head and just forcibly puts it on his head for now, and then they'll do another toast, looking out of the window, I guess, at all the things going on outside.
Up the geeks.
Up the geeks. Up the geeks.
Quite right. Up the geeks.
Right. So what else we got? We've got your mate.
Rick Verlo's a fan.
Yeah, your mate Ewan. Me and Verlo we're okay, but we're not. We've not shared a room.
That's true. Agnar will say to can you say to Sutter? I don't suppose you know who Verlo supports, do you? You know who he's a fan of?
Yeah, Regina, obviously.
They're the so I'm not a big Buckyball fan. The Regina.
Regina's just one of those teams that, you know, people support because they're always being screened and they're always winning things, and it's you know.
Oh, they're the Barcelona of the Buckyball world.
Merchandise on every planet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yep. I know the type.
Kids on little planets wearing their jerseys.
Yeah. And you know, you can't say anything wrong about them because everywhere in the galaxy you're never more than 6 feet away from a Regina fan.
Oh, it's like that. And that's proven true this evening.
Yeah.
It has indeed. Anyway, thanks. We look forward to spending 2 weeks with you. I suppose he'll grab Soraya by the arm and repay her in kind and drag her over to Verlo.
As she goes, she'll reach out behind her, grabbing the cap off Sutter's head rather clumsily as she's been dragged away. Just slap it back on. She's got a relationship with him that's cordial, of course. It's crude, but they've never been in a friendly environment. So she'll nod at him. Verlo, nice to see you this evening.
Oh, thank you.
Do you like my my outfit?
Well,
sure.
Do you like my friend Agnar's outfit?
Yeah, obviously.
Agnar will get a bit self-conscious and straighten up his jacket, tuck his tummy in.
Agnar, you wanted to ask your dear friend a question.
Yes, Verlo. We hear that you've been holding out on us. Word on the ship is you're a big Regina fan. You never told me you liked Buckyball. Soraya here is a massive fan. And we happen to have a way aboard the cruise for the next 2 weeks. Have you got your hand up, Luke?
I was giving the geek. I was giving geek power. That's what we call it. That's what we call it among the geek fans.
Geek power.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Would you care to join us?
Yeah, that sounds great. Really good.
Wonderful. Obviously, your team won't be represented professionally. I'm sure there'll be a few fans knocking around, as there tend to be at these
No doubt.
places. But we would very much enjoy having you on the ship with us.
That would be brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, that would be super.
Wonderful. We leave. When do we leave, Saraya?
I think it's tomorrow, isn't it? I literally think it's tomorrow. I think
Tomorrow, today, either way, get your affairs in order.
tomorrow, today, either way. Get your affairs in order. What is he
Yeah.
dying?
No,
It's not that violent. You never know with us.
A sports tour with us, yeah.
It's-
We went to Earth Park and all we got was attacked by giant sharks. And that's a theme park.
And prehistoric wolves.
Yeah. This ship is going to have lots of people with bats.
That's true, and not just sea bats.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Not just sea bats.
He'll say no. Just be ready to leave. We've got it all arranged. But I assume there's nothing pressing in your diary.
No, just hanging around, waiting for something interesting to happen.
Wonderful.
There's not a lot of biology on this ship unless you want to study a domestic cat, and I don't think there'll be much on a buckyball cruise either. But then, hey, there's at least buckyball to watch.
There is indeed.
I feel you've been overlooking Moanth eggs that are currently going off in storage somewhere.
Oh yeah. Make sure the eggs are well tended to, and they'll be okay for 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're not going off; they're maturing.
Wonderful. I don't suppose being a biology man, there's anybody. In fact, we know this, don't we? Who's the person on? Who's the person? Who's the rock person?
Who's what? Rock person?
The rock person.
That's
Sammy.
literally Sammy Cress. Come on, man.
Should we get Sammy along for the carvings experts? Would that be a sensible decision?
That is a very good idea. The scientists aren't needed during the refitting. Let's head to Sammy.
Agnar will say to Saraya.
Let's at least do it for the viewers. Let's get to Sammy.
Get Sammy on
Sammy
board.
is
Okay.
powerhouse.
Get Sammy on board.
Yeah.
The two of them head over arm in arm again towards Sammy Cress, who's no doubt
Still
doing
around.
some wacky things, as she always does.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She's loitering about, enjoying her sort of drink and chatting with whoever wanders past, and she brightens up when she sees you and wanders over and says, "Hi, how's it been going?"
Hey, it's good, man. We've missed you. It feels like it's been the longest time since we've spent days together getting shot at. How's it been being up here? Are you bored yet?
Relatively safe.
How would you like to feel relatively safe on another ship with us?
Sure. Any ship in particular, or just randomly picking one and stealing it?
This is why we love you, Sammy. You've bought into our ethos so well. Saraya grabs her by the arm and
We've
leads.
known you for years.
Exactly. We've literally only known her for like a couple of months, I guess. Grabs her by the arm and drags her over to the front-facing windows and points out at the seamstress and says, "That's where we're going to be for a fortnight, and it would not feel right to us if you weren't there with us. To spend 14 days without you around us would just bad juju. Do you want to come and hang out? There's going to be some discussion about rocks. There's going to be some alcohol. There's going to be some hunky men playing sport. Something for everyone, really. Are you interested?"
Oh, definitely. And I don't know if you've seen, but since that ship arrived, they've been broadcasting all this stuff about the cruise, like trailers for it. And I'm actually quite keen to see that pool of theirs.
In which case, make sure you're packed up, ready to go, and you you are definitely coming with us, and it'll be an absolute joy. I'm glad. We're both glad. Sarai looks at Agnar. We're both glad that you've said you'll come. We'd feel incomplete without you.
We are indeed. We might have. I don't know whether you're aware of the passenger list, but there might be some experts in carvings on the station. I know that's not directly related to rocks, but it's not indirectly.
Yay, carvings. That always ends well.
Well, you know us. I think it would be wonderful to have you around for some fun social times, but it would also be imperative that we have your knowledge there should we need it.
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
Now get your affairs in order.
No, stop telling people to get their affairs in order. Oh, you put like a dark, shadowy hand over our next week's. No.
Okay. So you've picked 3 NPCs at the moment to take with you.
Yeah. There's one more.
Verlo and
Sutter.
Yeah, Sutter and Sammy.
There's one more I want to approach, but I understand if she won't come. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So while this is going on, Kara with the cat in hand, the kitten, of course, Caboodle, as we all know, is the kitten's name. Is Caboodle a boy or a girl? Kara will
it's a girl kitten.
Kara will turn her upside down a little bit as she tickles the tummy and notices it is indeed a girl kitten. And
Caboodle is indeed a girl kitten, yes.
And while she's squiddling around the tummy and all that, I don't know. I don't have a cat. The people squiddle their tummies, don't they? They do little squiddly bits. She'll do some squiddling, and she'll take Caboodle over towards Rose. And hey, Rose, how you doing?
Oh, good, thanks.
Is this fluffy ball of fluff? Has it chosen you as someone to look after it?
Yes, this is Caboodle, and by common assent, it is everything about it is my fault.
It feels like the world is balancing. We're losing Richard Davis, but we've gained Caboodle. A fair trade, I would say.
Look over and Richard Davis is coughing up a purple.
I know. I've missed hanging out with you. Of course, we enjoy hanging out together. We're heading away for another fortnight. You see the big ship over there. We've been invited to go on a big, a big hoity-toity cruise, quite frankly. I'm making sure I'm packing my graffiti cans and my vlogging phone, of course. But we're away for a couple of weeks of, I think there's going to be some chin-wagging, a bit of partying, a bit of hanging out. And I'd love to invite you. I totally understand if you won't. But you're more than welcome to join us for the fortnight. If you'd like, I'd love you to hang out with us, quite frankly. But again, I understand.
Able to bring the cat.
We could find out, because I totally understand that it's a deal breaker right now. How about I check with the big cheese, not the bad big cheese, our new big cheese, the good, not the Grand Fromage, the good new big cheese. I'll check with him and see. How about that? Would you be willing if Caboodle could come? Are you up for it?
Yeah. If we can bring the cat, I'm there.
Cool. I will check, and I totally understand, especially at this stage in Caboodle's life. I understand if you won't, if he can't. Cara grabs a couple of drinks, hands one to Rose, and they sort of chat a bit, I guess. Before Cara, because we've got what's her name? We don't have his direct details, but we've got Stella Nest's details, haven't we, through him?
That's right.
Yeah. So as they chat, and sort of chinwag and catch up a bit, she'll drop a text message sort of through to her, asking if there's any way of getting a little kitten on board or not. It's not a deal breaker kind of thing.
Okay, the response is that in addition to obviously being a sports ship, this is in fact a liner.
Mm-hmm.
Transporting animals, especially domestic animals, is by no means unheard of. However, they would have to be transported in a hold compartment. They don't have any freedom to run around the ship. They're not allowed in your staterooms or cabins, that kind of thing.
Are there visiting rights within that? Like some kind of prison?
You can visit them in their cages, yes.
Okay. Kara will relay that.
It's going to turn into a prison break.
Yeah, get her out. We'll relay that to her with that sort of half hopeful, we could always try and smuggle her up. But
all right,
this is...
Try a persuade with intellect, please.
Oh, now you're talking my language, at least. At least I'm not trying to shoot someone with a Gauss pistol. 6 + 4 is 10.
Okay. All right. Rose says she will come if it's really important to you, but she doesn't like the idea of the kitten being shut in a cage for a fortnight. But she will come if you need her to.
Hang on, I'm just writing some notes so I remember it. Bear with me. Yes, please.
While this has been going on, can Stefan just fire a quick message over to Stella and just say, what are the regulations on board with regards to weapons? I mean, I'm not saying I want to take a flamethrower on a bucketball cruise, but
you do want to take a flamethrower.
I have recently picked it up and I haven't had a chance to use it yet.
As with most liners, people have a need to transport personal weapons. However, no firearms are permitted outside your own staterooms.
Okay, but anything's allowed in our staterooms.
You can transport in your luggage effectively any weapons you like, but they have to stay in your luggage.
Okay, perfect.
That seems all right though.
Thank you.
It's good to have it around.
Yeah.
Kara will smile at Rose, sort of touch her on the shoulder as they're drinking, and she'll say, "It mean a lot for me. Mean a lot to me for you to come. Thank you for your understanding. We'll make sure that we get down to Caboodle frequently, and if you're willing to, I might have a way that means we can spend more time with her. We'll make sure that she doesn't miss out."
All right. She thinks about it for a moment, and then she says, "No, she'd be better here. I'll come with you, but I'll leave her here on the Baltic Star. She's got room to run around here."
God, what's his name again? Who's the second engineer?
Kron.
Kron. Kara shout, "Kron, come here." Does he heed her call?
He sort of glances across and raises a glass and then turns his back quite deliberately on her.
She calls Kron again as she drags Rose with her with Caboodle still in her hand, and she approaches Kron, and she sort of carefully, sort of in a clever way, sort of moves Caboodle from her hand into his relatively awkward arms, I guess, while he's drinking, sort of into the crook of his arm or something. And she says, "Oh, it's like you were made to be. Kron, you're now officially, by by the power invested in me by the planet of Giikur, you are Caboodle's legal guardian for the next 14 days. May God have mercy on your soul.
He looks at the cat, and the cat looks back at him, purring very softly. and he looks at this really still quite small kitten, and he looks down and says, "Oh, crap." And then just starts, gently scratching it behind the ear.
I knew he's a big softy, little Kron. Cara smiles at Rose and gives Kron a little sort of a little squeeze, I guess, and just leaves them to get to know each other, I guess. Says to Rose, "Come on, get packed. We're gonna have a good weekend, a good fortnight."
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you are taking with you Verlo, Sutter, and Sammy Cress.
Yep.
That's right. You're leaving Johnny.
Yep.
You're not taking Zoe with you.
Oh, we haven't spoken to Zoe yet. We have to see. Zoe. I always thought that Zoe is the master of her own world. We probably should ask Zoe at least.
I mean, we can offer.
Yeah. She feels like one we need to offer rather than force upon. It's weird how that works. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do we, with Sammy as well, is Johnny worth trying to get on board? Bless him.
Yeah.
They're still trying to catch up.
We could ask Sammy and see if she wants to.
Yeah.
I'm going to say little, but he might be older. Brother, coming along.
No, we don't need to involve them in everything. We can just get them on board so they can have a lovely week together, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Verlo, Sutter, Cress and Rose so far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who do you want to talk to then, Ewan? Who do you want to take charge of?
Johnny? I'll go with Johnny if we were asking him.
Okay.
He wasn't in the list, was he? I just add an extra. Oh no, you said Crest, didn't you?
Yeah, we got.
I'll take Johnny.
Sorry.
Johnny Crest.
You can pick two, and then I'll take Crest then.
Okay, I'll take Zoe then. If you take Johnny, I'll speak to Zoe in a minute.
All right. So is this Stefan or Ragnar or both going to have a quick chat?
This will probably be more likely be Stefan. I feel as though they're more of a kindred spirit. I'm not saying they are, but more of a kindred spirit than Ragnar and Johnny.
Yeah, certainly, possibly. All right. So, how do you want to approach it?
Stefan will. He's probably been, flitting around trying to find people. He'll go over to Johnny. Hey, Johnny, we're going on a bucketball cruise for 2 weeks. Sorry, my cats are particularly needed. They know that we're talking about cats.
Cats, they picked it up. Cats that aren't me.
Johnny, we're going on a bucketball cruise for 2 weeks. That big ship over there. Do you wanna come with us? They're letting me take my flamethrower.
You know the way to the mountain.
I'm sure there'll be lots of rich people to exploit.
Roll a persuade with intellect for me, please.
With Boone, because he really wants to exploit rich people.
You can't have a boom for that, I'm afraid.
He loves exploiting, does Johnny?
Persuade with intellect.
Mm-hmm.
That is an 8 plus 1 is 9.
Okay. He says, sure, I mean, I'm not that interested in the game, but change of scenery, different ship to explore, sure.
There'll be some drinks, some socialising, I'm sure.
Yeah, cool.
Wonderful. Frankly, this ship's only going to be sat here for the time that we're going anyway, getting some work done to it. So why not get out a little bit and see the world? That's my motto.
Yeah, righto.
This is great. We've almost got a bucketball team of our own now.
Maybe we could
Get on board.
Play a few.
A friendly or something. Yeah.
If we get two teams together, we could find a corridor somewhere. Stefan will give a big thumbs up over towards the rest of the group. I'm assuming we had a little beforehand.
Okay.
Who we were trying to collect.
So, Luke, is it Kara or Soraya who's going to approach
It's Kara. After she finishes,
it might be.
It needs to be. After she finishes with Rose and sort of smiles and sort of they finish a drink and she wanders over to Zoe, who's no doubt being the usual Zoe of kind of being part of the party while also slightly being separate from the party in her own enigmatic way.
Leaning against a bulkhead, sort of gently, occasionally sipping a drink.
Yeah. Going through one while everyone else is going through three kind of thing.
Exactly.
Hey, I heard about the direwolves. Man, I'm glad you got out alive.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. They were quite big.
I hear that Sarai helped by blowing off a pointless door.
I kind of heard that. I didn't see it. I was busy at the time watching this guy be eaten.
From everything I've heard, he kind of deserved it.
I'm tempted to say nobody deserves that, but to be fair, I had no idea who he was or what he'd done. So.
Did you even know who Sever was? Did you even care who Sever was?
Yeah, I mean, I spent a bit of time with Sever. As completely unremorseful sociopaths go, he seemed okay.
You know where we're going for the next couple of weeks. How do you feel about being in close contact with your main girl, with March Temple, aka the notorious aka?
Well, you know how it is. Could you roll a quick persuade with intellect for me, please?
We're about to find out how we know how it is. So it's intellect plus. What did you say? Plus persuade? Did you say?
Plus persuade, please.
Yeah. Okay. It's a 5 plus 3 is 8.
Okay. Well, you know how it is. I was wondering.
Oh, sorry, 9. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong sheet. 9. Sorry.
You know how it is. I was wondering if I should stay away from her or keep an eye on her. You know how when there's a blint bug in the room, you're not necessarily frightened of it, but you really want to keep an eye on it and know where it is.
Kara nods, like keep your friends close and keep your enemies even closer.
Yeah. I'm a great believer that if there's someone I don't trust, I mean really don't trust, someone who could really be a problem, I like to know exactly where they are and ideally make sure I can put crosshairs on them as needed.
Kara sort of smiles, trying to lighten the mood a little bit. He says, that'd explain why you spend so much time looking at Stefan.
He's just so odd.
Man, there's a lot to like, but there's also a lot to be suspicious of. I think it's his eyes. It's because they look in two different directions at once sometimes.
Stefan comes running over as he's doing his rounds around the room. Hey guys, we can take flamethrowers on board. And runs off to the next group. Drink in hand.
Kara's halfway between kind of playing it seriously and then just like cracking up laughing and like snorting into a drink at that point. She says, so I guess you'll be joining us then.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Okay.
And then Kara looks deadly serious at her and she says, I'll be honest, we would feel less secure if you weren't there. a little moment of deadly seriousness, I guess.
Yeah.
And then smiles and she knows Zoe's not a big drinker, but she'll sort of raise a glass for a sip. You know what I mean? Like a little clink and a sip thing.
Yeah. Can you I'm tempted to say, can you roll an intellect for me, just a straight intellect check?
I can. I'm very averagely tonight. I'm normally good with my 12s early on. It's a 6 + 2. It's an 8.
Okay. Zoe is not someone who normally spends a lot of time smiling or relaxed. But Kara has begun to notice that insofar as she ever smiles or relaxes, it's mostly when she's with Kara. Right. Zoe seems to be quite protective of Kara. She often doesn't know what she's supposed to be doing from one moment to the next, but she knows when Kara's around, she's got a job to do. And she relaxes knowing that her job is just to stay with Kara.
I feel like a little warm in my tongue. I think it might be just because I'm drinking wine tonight for the first time in weeks. I had a little warm moment there.
Yep, it could be.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I need a moment. Hang on a sec.
Is your roster essentially complete, do you think?
So it's the 4 of us. There's 10 of us then. There's 4 of us. There's Verlo, Sutter, Cress, Rose, Johnny and Zoe. It's a big roster.
You're taking Verlo, Sutter, both Cresses.
Yep.
And Rose and Zoe, yeah?
Yes. We will not expect to be using them a lot, but if some of them, it just feels like they need a couple of weeks away.
Bit of an R&R.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We've let some of them down in the past, and we want to put it right.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, including your PCs, you are in fact taking one shy of a full buckyball team.
We can find some posh guy to join our team when we're there if we need it.
Oh, well, you can always borrow one of the people you're going with. I mean, Cat might play. You never know, the Commodore might play.
I bet Cat's got skills. Cat's got all the skills.
It's a shame Caboodle's not coming. I bet they've got skills.
Actually, we've got a new NPC that could join our team, Ben. Achilles von Cotswold.
Achilles von Cotswold.
One of the uglier von Cotswolds, I feel.
I hope Mr. Leno won't mind if I introduce him as a Van Cotswolds in order to make him match, because I've been doing that all the way through. But an Achilles Van Cotswolds, fair enough.
Yeah. He's got it. There's a lot. It's hard to keep track of them. You said it before. You're never 2 meters away from our Van Cotswold.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I will make note, and in fact have done so.
Magical. Can we take our break here? Sorry, I got really sore knees all of a sudden. I need to take a little bit of a walk.
I think this is a good time to do it. Yeah.
Sorry, that's a really weird reason. I've actually got really sore knees.
Sorry, guys. I need to take a break. Luke's knees are playing up.
My knees. I'm old now. My knees need a bit of a wander.
All right, we will take our break.
At least it's not your heel.
We will return to the transition to the seamstress.
What an embarrassing break to take. Okay, cool.
Wonderful.
Yes. Okay, well, let's do a break. Hang around for the adverts and stay for Ben.
See you all soon.
I need to close things down. It's so long. It's okay. We're there. Right, here we go. Adverts. Click.
Hey, welcome to Cast where queer guests
I'm back, baby!
play games
I pick my jaw up off the floor real quick. Put that back on.
and do an interview.
My secret is
This is published on the first and third Sunday of every month, so come join us. And I hope you have a good time. Bye!
Are you the kind of person or unspeakable nightmare horror who likes actual play podcasts, but occasionally wants a break from all the high fantasy heroics? you should check out Negative Modifier, an actual play podcast that specializes in darker, more mature games. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, and more or less anywhere else podcasts can be found.
Go!
Hi, everyone. Welcome back.
Hi.
This is that time in the evening where we like to toast a fallen comrade, the man in the poster you see before you. Normally, one of us will raise a glass, say a limerick, say some nice words, make up some stuff that never actually happened with him, and embed it into the history of the Baltic Star. But today I think we're going to go for something a little bit different. As we are at Richard Davis's leaving do, which feels like it's coming to a close, Agnar will stand up, tap the side of his glass with whatever metal instrument he can find on the bar, like one of those swirly cocktail sticks or something, and just say, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have a moment of your attention. Since my comrades and I have joined you on the Baltic Star, and he'll gesture over to the rest of the crew, it's been a short time, but there have been few people who have left. I like to think of us as a very close-knit family, a very caring family, and a family that sticks together as long as our interests are, shall we say, aligned. Obviously, our good friend Richard here will soon be departing for greener pastures. Much like the other member who left our ship, and he'll think twice about the words that he's saying and look a bit awkward. Richard is an honest man, much like Greyhill. He's been a good leader, much like Greyhill. He's been there to talk to him when you need him, much like Greyhill. He doesn't make as good a drink, and his whiskey choice is, frankly, terrible. But he will always be a comrade, much like Greyhill.